Hello and welcome to Homesteading Farms. Join our family on our journey as we build a like-minded community while living life on our terms in accordance with our beliefs, our convictions, our desires, and above all, our faith in God and our God-given calling.
We promote a self-sufficient, self-sustaining lifestyle, especially with regard to fresh produce and fresh meat and the preservation thereof.
It is our objective to prove that this self-sufficient, sustainable, healthy, happy, and fulfilling lifestyle is possible, even in an urban setting, while adhering to various laws, rules, and regulations of our government.
Our ultimate vision and goal are to obtain and establish functional and profitable farm enterprises where we produce wholesome foods grown and raised according to our conviction in the way that God intended. In other words, organic, natural, chemical-free.
Furthermore, it is our aim to teach and train in the various principles of self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and food security. We foresee hosting, supporting, and sponsoring masterclass training workshops in accordance to our call to the ministry of God.
With your support, we know we can achieve these goals.
Hi, and welcome back to my garden. Today we are going to start an exciting new project. We are going to transform this old bicycle into a functional and efficient wheel, hoe, and cultivator for our market garden. Okay, so why, you ask? Why a wheel hoe? Let me explain. Following advice from one of the YouTube videos of David the Good, we decided to approach our food forest orchard in the island style. Now basically what that means is around every fruit tree you start like your shrubs and ground covers, around every tree like an island, and then you expand until they eventually come together and form part of this food forest. And we did our approach in that way, but obviously we faced a few challenges with that method. The food island idea seemed like an amazing idea because we gradually want to build up our food forest over a period of time as we have resources available. But like I said, we also ran into some challenges. Firstly, okay, let me show you. So we approached it in a way that, we've got our fruit trees that will become taller. We've got some raspberry that will serve as, shrubs and stuff like that. And then we planted cucurbits around the trees. To serve as, the ground cover and living mulch for our fruit trees. Here you can see the watermelons. Here you can see the watermelon vines that we actually planted over here, and they sprawled out. So, the idea is perfectly well, but the problem that we faced is we need, hello Dante, the problem, hey, it's erger as Lucia. We are also what? The problem that we faced is we need the fruit coming off of these vines. Now over here I planted watermelon. Over by the red apple we planted sweet melon. By the nectarine tree we planted butternut squash, which I already removed. And over here by the victory where the camera is, we planted hermit squash. Oh, what else? But the problem that we faced is, as the vines sprawled out, I couldn't mow the lawn over here. And that is why these grasses are so tall. Okay, so as you can see, here's a nice big watermelon that's not ready yet, but it is getting closer. But all over, so as you can see, there's watermelon coming up all over. Over here is another one. See, and now this is a problem. As we try, there's a rotten one. As we try to move these vines out of the way, as we try and move these vines out of the way in order to mow here, what the vine will do is either, when you disturb it, drop its fruit, like it did that over there, or the vine will die off completely.
It's playing again. Bruno can be a paid actor.
Okay, so you can see we've got watermelons growing all over the place here. The same way we had with the butternut squash, and the hermit squash didn't yield a lot. But like I said, as soon as you try and move the vines to train it in a different direction, it would rather throw off the fruit or die back and then go in anyway. And because we need this fruit for, to feed my family, I would rather avoid mowing the lawn while it is still growing. Thankfully, I could get rid of the pumpkins and squashes, so I was able to mow up to here. But the watermelon is putting out a lot of fruit at the moment, and that is something that my kids actually love and enjoy, so I'll rather grow that. And the ones that we tasted was absolutely awesome, sweet, and I made some watermelon rind preserve as well. So yeah, that is the first challenge that we faced. If we move the vines to try and train it to grow in a different direction, the vines would throw off the fruit prematurely and we would lose that crop. So leaving it there, obviously the grass overtook the garden, but at least I am able to salvage some of the produce. Our butternuts did absolutely awesome, but it went right through the pathways of my raised bed garden as well, which made it quite a bit of an obstacle. So our second obstacle is the raised bed gardens itself. I was unable to, first of all, create 10 raised bed gardens. I came up to 6. Then I ran out of materials. Like you can see, this one, I actually didn't have enough material to properly finish off this raised bed garden, but I used it anyway. So yeah, there's a bit of structural integrity problems with this one, but it will be fixed in the next season. But I was able to grow some crops successfully, and it's still busy growing. We had a wonderful yield of peppers and leeks and onions, and I'm busy with my fall crops over here. It's actually time to harvest, all the radishes. But this, even though I still have 2 beds to fill up here, you can see that one is halfway, and then this one is completely empty. But I still have these 2 beds to finish up, fill it up and finish off. Then I can plant in them. But even if I had all these beds prepped and ready, it's still, it would probably produce enough food for my family and maybe a bit to preserve, but not really enough to provide for our community as well. So with that said, and trying, we were unable to buy in more materials and compost and topsoil and stuff like that to fill our gardens due to financial restraints. But we do need to get this garden going. So then we decided that we will have in-ground gardens as well, in order to up our produce. Our goal is basically to, first of all, to produce a high enough yield of crops so that I can provide for my family, first of all. Second of all, to also supply our Oppidorp home industries venture that we then sell to the public at market. And thirdly, to also have fresh produce to sell to our community at market. And basically the ultimate goal is to establish, profitable farming enterprises and basically then grow from one scale to the next. I believe that if we are fully faithful stewards of this property, God will enlarge our territory again and we can upscale and go bigger. So for now we basically want to create in-ground garden beds for the market garden, which will then also serve as part of our food forest. But I think instead of our food forest being strictly perennial, we will also have then some annual crops mixed in there. So it's a bit of a mixture between an orchard, a food forest, and a market garden that we will try and establish there. So your next question might be, why a wheel hoe? If we have hand tools like this garden fork and pickaxe and a spade and a rake, why would one then need a wheel hoe? Okay. A wheel hoe is an incredibly handy tool for a small-scale farmer. It helps us save time and energy, and it's a lot more efficient than these hand tools. It helps us save time and energy while keeping our gardens weed-free and well cultivated. And it's a lot more efficient than these and quicker than these hand tools. Yes, we can do it with these hand tools, but it is a lot more labor intensive and time consuming, and it is back-breaking hard work. So with some innovation we can be a lot more efficient, leading to greater productivity and profitability and cost saving. So why repurposing an old bicycle instead of just buying a proper new wheel hoe? Okay, not only is it an eco-friendly way to give new life to old unused items, but it also allows us to create a customized tool that meet our specific needs. Second of all, it's cost efficient. I already have all the materials that I need available. And thirdly, it gives me a project to do so I can create content for you to enjoy. And fourthly, maybe this will inspire you to take some old unused items you have lying around to create something functional that will serve you. Okay, so here we are in my little workshop. Okay, in order to build this Wheel Hoe cultivator and some of its implements, here is a list of materials and tools that we will need to accomplish this project. Okay, we will be using parts of this bicycle as well as some additional components, to make it all work together. We are going to need an angle grinder with some cutting discs and grinding discs and sanders to cut the metal and to smooth off the welding joints. I've also got a hand drill and a pillar drill over here for in place. We are definitely going to need the inverter welder and the welding helmet, the consumables, also some safety gear, the welding gloves. Okay, and for grinding, your normal eye protection and ear protection, all your safety gear. And also here at the back, I've got some nuts and bolts and screws in that bucket over there. We are also going to need some scrap or off-cut metal pieces to fashion some of and to fabricate some of the implements. Yeah, and maybe there will be some other additional miscellaneous bits and pieces that we will use as we go on, like paint, for instance, when we are finishing this project. In this video series, we will take you through every step of this process, from disassembling the bicycle and modifying its frame to assembling the Wheel Hoe and adding all the finishing touches. We will also take it off to the garden and test it out to see how it performs. So stay tuned as we embark on this creative journey together. Please don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any updates. Okay, let's get it done. God bless you and see you in the next video.